Hi Morgan, my name's Kelly Guy, and like you, I am from Parkersburg, West Virginia. Believe it or not, you and I are the exact same age, and I'm not sure what part of town you grew up in. But I wanted to get in touch with you about something that's happening in the Parkersburg area that I feel that you need to be aware of. It's concerning DuPont and a chemical that they have released into the water sources here called C8. Last December, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and 10 years previous to that, my sister was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Then about 4 years ago, she had a son, and he was born with spina bifida, and I just got to thinking something isn't quite right here. We have very strong family histories on both sides of the family, and just not making any sense why there's so much disease and such happening. So I have some things I wanted to share with you. I do want to introduce you to my sister and her son. Morgan, I want to introduce you to my sister, Brooke, and this is her son, Brock. 10 years ago, Brooke was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Then 5 years ago, she got pregnant with Brock. And when she was pregnant with Brock, she was living on an infected water supply, a water supply that had very high levels of C8. Brock was born with spina bifida. And I'm going to ask Brooke to just take a minute and explain and show you what happened to Brock when he was born. First thing I want to state is that when the doctors found out that Brock had spina bifida, they did try to get Brooke to abort her pregnancy. So I want to keep that in your mind as a consideration of what's going on in this area, because there might not be any really true counts of what's going on with these birth defects that are happening, because these babies that are showing up with birth defects, the doctors are suggesting that they abort.
Hi Morgan, my name is Brooke, and this is my son Brock. I basically just want to show you the scars from where he had surgery from after he was born, where they did spinal work on his surgery. Right here's where he got surgery right there after he was born. And then they put a shunt in his head. See, there's a shunt right here in his head that they had to put in his head. And the tube goes all the way down behind his ear and comes over his collarbone right down into his stomach. And this is the scar from where the tube goes down into his stomach.
Needless to say, I'm pretty upset about how my family has been affected. We're going to kind of go out today, do a little driving around, get some shots of DuPont. I just want to share a little bit of what I have discovered and what has been discovered in regards to what DuPont has been doing to the area of Parkersburg. This area is near and dear to my heart, as I'm sure it is to you, because growing up here. We need to do something, Morgan, and that's why I'm sending you this letter in video format. I'm asking for your help. I know that you are really good at having a voice and exposing things. And what is happening to the people of the Parkersburg area is just something that should not be happening. This is a situation where a large plant has moved in, taken advantage of a population, given them jobs, but is also killing them at the same time. So, everyone here feels a loyalty to DuPont and doesn't want to speak up about the injustices that are happening, because DuPont has, quote, supported their families for all these years, but DuPont is also killing their families as well. So we're off, and you're along with us, and we'll see you in a few. One thing I did not tell you is that my sister and I are involved currently in a class action lawsuit against DuPont, and I wanted to read some of the discovery to you. Since the early 1950s, DuPont has used a chemical compound known as C8 in its manufacturing of Teflon at its Washington Works plant in Wood County, West Virginia. C8 has been manufactured by the 3M Company, and the 3M Company has sold it to DuPont. Although it has been a multi-million-dollar annual product for 3M for decades, 3M voluntarily decided to stop production of C8 in May 2000 because of concerns about its toxic, bioretentive, and animal carcinogenic cancer-causing properties. In its manufacturing process, DuPont has discharged large quantities of C8 as waste material into the air and water surrounding its Washington Works plant. Much of this waste containing C8 has been disposed of in DuPont's dry run landfill, its Latart landfill, and discharged into the Ohio River. Significant quantities of C8 were detected by DuPont in the drinking water supplied by the Lubeck Public Service District in 1984, which is just right down the road here. There was no public announcement of that finding by DuPont. DuPont advised the Lubeck Public Service District in 1989 that C8 had been detected in its water, but again, no disclosure of this information was provided to customers of the Lubeck Public Service District by either the water company or DuPont. Instead of taking steps to eliminate the seepage of C8 into the wells owned by Lubeck Public Service District, DuPont purchased the property containing these wells from the Lubeck Public Service District, and the Lubeck Public Service District acquired new property along the Ohio River, approximately 2 miles further downstream from DuPont's Washington Works plant. In 1991, C8 was detected in significant quantities in the new wells owned by Lubeck Public Service District. Due to concerns raised in a lawsuit concluded against DuPont involving C8 and loss of significant numbers of cattle, a letter dated October 31st, 2000 was drafted by DuPont for the Lubeck Public Service District to send to its customers, notifying them that C8 had been detected in the water. In January 2002, testing of the water wells in the Little Hocking Water Association in or near Little Hocking, Ohio, revealed the presence of C8. Retaining these wells has confined the presence of C8 in the Little Hocking water wells, and I also want to state that's where my sister was drinking the water when she was pregnant with her son. C8 is a bioretentive and biopersistent substance. C8 has been determined to be an animal carcinogen, causing cancer in animals. C8 is a proven hazardous substance. C8 has been linked with increased incidence of prostate cancer in studies performed for 3M. DuPont has initiated studies of the effects of C8 on mammals, such as monkeys, but these studies have never been concluded or published. DuPont's own testing has shown an association between C8 exposure and potentially harmful increased liver enzymes. A survey of 600 class members in 2003 indicates there may be an association between C8 exposure and the development of various illnesses, including a number of different cancers in humans. In June 2005, the United States Environmental Protection Agency Science Advisory Board announced that C8 is likely to be carcinogenic to humans. In a federally funded study of 360 persons in the Little Hocking, Ohio area, Dr. Ted Emmett from the University of Pennsylvania strongly recommended that people not drink water containing C8, and that people living in areas known to have water supplies contaminated with C8 should drink bottled water from an uncontaminated source. He found that young children and senior citizens had extraordinarily high levels of C8 in their blood. This study did not include enough people to determine whether or not C8 causes cancer in humans. On January 20th, 2006, the same Science Advisory Board referenced above issued its final report to the United States Environmental Protection Agency and rendered a similar opinion regarding cancer-causing properties of C8 as it had in June. That is, C8 is likely carcinogenic to humans. Needless to say, I'm very disturbed about what's going on in this area. Part of the settlement of this class action lawsuit involved a payout of $70 million. That $70 million was taken by the attorney working on this case